Okay, here we go. Another try. I had some thoughts that I wanted to share, and I thought, why not just try this again? I wanted to try this again because I want to connect you all still. I've been wanting to for nearly 4 years now, or over 4 years now. And I think it can happen because I think I'm finally realizing part of why it's been so scary and why I start and stop and start and stop over and over and over again. It's about letting go and letting in. Many of us have had to let go of many things over the past 4, 5, 20, 40 years. And we've gotten used to this feeling of grief, mourning. I don't know if that's good or bad, it just is. So we're comfortable. We recognize the feeling of what it feels like to have to let things go and to be letting go of things sort of frequently. Plans, people, animals, places, things. And I've reached a point where this has been happening for me. And then what follows is that because I learned to live without, I learned to live with less. I get better and better at letting go. But there's a fear of letting in, and there's a fear of letting in things that I think I may lose. And one of the things that I've noticed as I've worked coaching and teaching people with their English over the past 4 years online is that one of the things that happens is that I work with people for a little while. We form a connection, we build a relationship, and then when they don't need to work with me anymore, they leave. And I am more, it's like a bird, the mother watching her kids go off to lead successful lives. There's a feeling of pride and joy, and there's a little bit of a loss that I go through. Not, then this is not, I'm not trying to say this in any sort of manipulative way. I'm just being totally honest because I finally recognized it that there is a sadness as we approach the realization of a goal, as the end of the World Cup, as we reach the final game, there's this sadness because it's going to be over. Sorry, I have to click on something. Okay, so, oops. So there's an acceptance that there will be a letting go. There will be a letting go of everything this whole life, right? What is some people so but so part of the reason I think that this may actually become something that we can create together finally is because I think I've recognized that there's a there's a grief process and there's a letting go. There's this piece about letting go that's been happening so frequently that there's a fear of letting in because it will just have to be let go of. There is a sense that what's the point of planting? What's the point of creating if I'm just going to have to let it go? And I was trying to compare it with students, but it doesn't exactly work. We could see it more with yeah. Anyways, I think you get the point. But if I stay afraid of connecting you all and joining and connecting you together here, this isn't how it is. But if I don't take the steps to make a community, a real community, a gathering space. Some of you are people I know from a space somebody else created that was amazing. And I worked for an academy that was a community also, an online community. And I would love to create something like that myself, but it's hard. And I have so much respect for the woman who created it because it's not easy. And in the end, she ended up, I think she let it go. I'm not sure. She may still have it going, but I don't no longer work for that community. And I want to create my own. And perhaps there's this sadness in every creation. There's this apprehension in every creation. I'm not a mother, though I've had a lot of animals, and I've had to say goodbye to them, and I've had to say goodbye to a lot of places and a lot of people, and things. And there's this, I don't know if you experience this as well, where it's like there's this fear of letting in something that you may have to let go of. And um, when that becomes this pattern that just keeps happening, and over these years, there's been so much loss. Everybody has been, so much has changed, and there's been so much loss that I wonder, I can't help but imagine that other people are feeling this too. This sense of, do I really want to put myself out there, create this thing because I may lose it? Do I want to, um, and I want to talk about this a little bit because I'm sure it's something we can also connect over, our shared experiences of loss. And it's not the typical thing that you probably talk about in an English speaking club or a listening club, as I like to call it. But because listeners are just as important as speakers, not to listen to me, but to listen to other people practicing their English. And I'm rambling, and I'm going to get off this thing soon. But I just wanted to try this out again, and it's working for me a little bit. Maybe, whatever that means. But so yeah, I think I'm willing to accept the fact that despite the fact that I may lose everything, um, I want to allow myself to let in. I realize there's another video on this channel that talks about this. This is the theme that I wrestle with, and I think it's something that other people do as well, especially at this time. And the desire to do this, the inspiration to do this is actually also coming from real human beings who need to connect with each other. And each one has something the other one needs or wants. And I realize that that's only growing, that the number of people I can think of who may benefit from meeting that person, because I have a new student who lives in that area where somebody else lives, or they're moving to this area. And wait a second, this is how it can happen. It's easier for me somehow to make something happen like this when I don't think of it as being mine. Maybe because then I don't have to worry about losing it, or maybe because then I feel like it's a responsibility that's shared, because somehow I take this on as it being a responsibility and it needing to be big and perfect and everything before it happens. And if I keep waiting and waiting and waiting, it'll just never happen, like it hasn't happened for the past 4 years. And I don't know how much longer I need to keep waiting. And so these lives have maybe been an excuse to sort of just get on and be like, okay, this is me. And there's my Substack in the description on the YouTube page. And if you sign up there, I will let you know when we will have Zooms or a membership that will be more closed, and where we can connect actually, and you don't just have to listen to me like this. So I'm going to leave this there, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and see you soon. And may we gather very soon. Until then.